So after a shambolic performance for the Liberal Democrats in the recent local and European elections, the Nottingham City branch of the party called a special meeting over the weekend to discuss Nick Clegg's leadership. Following a vote, 75% of members voted in favour of calling a leadership contest. Well, Tony Sutton is a Liberal Democrat member who was at the meeting. Hello, Tony. Morning
Hello,
to you.
Good morning.
It sounds like you as grassroots Lib Dems are rather unhappy.
I think we are. I think the situation is that we're very proud of Liberal Democrats in coalition government, and we're very proud of the achievements that we've made in restoring the country to economic stability and growth again and increasing employment. Now, all of those messages are being lost, unfortunately, because...
Well, people think the Tories did that, don't they?
The Tories and the Liberal Democrats together did it, and I think we moderated some of their more extreme policies and have introduced some of our own election manifesto pledges, such as reducing the threshold or increasing the threshold for income tax. Now, all of these messages and the strong performance that we've made and the strong contribution we've made to the recovery are getting lost in the performance of Nick Clegg, unfortunately, and a lot of our members...
Do you not think that the two are, they're entwined, aren't they? People judge Nick Clegg on the performance of the Liberal Democrats, don't they?
I think it's of course the two are together, but I think that in the same way that Tony Blair will irretrievably be linked to Iraq and Margaret Thatcher will irretrievably be linked to the poll tax, in many ways Nick Clegg is irretrievably linked to the fiasco over tuition fees and his latest performance in the Euro debates with Nigel Farage. Whilst I totally admire the man for standing up and putting the case for Europe, unfortunately he didn't do it very well, nor did he accept that there are some problems with Europe which need sorting out. I mean, some of the things he said, which is that Europe would be, in his vision, the same in 10 years from now as it is now, is just ridiculous, because there are lots of problems in Europe that do need sorting out.
So I'm thinking here that this is a bit of a tactical thing, is it? That you're hoping that this movement might grow, that Nick Clegg might go, that you'll have a new leader in time for a general election, and suddenly people will like the Lib Dems again.
I think that's a little unrealistic, but I think that what is a significant problem for us at the moment is the reaction to Nick Clegg on the doorstep. When we talk to people, then despite the fact that it's 4 years ago, every time we talk to people on the doorstep, they say, I used to vote for you, but you can't be trusted because, look, you broke the pledge on tuition fees.
But that wasn't Nick Clegg that broke that, was it? That was the party.
The reality is we didn't need to break that pledge. We made a pledge that we wouldn't vote to increase tuition fees, and obviously we weren't the majority party in government, so we couldn't fulfil that, because the only way to fulfil that is through general taxation. Now, clearly in a coalition with the Tories were not going to fund tuition fees from general taxation. So we made a decision that the coalition agreement was such that because we couldn't fulfil our pledge, we would actually abstain on the vote on tuition fees. Nick Clegg took total responsibility for whipping the Liberal Democrat MPs to vote for something which we could and should have abstained on. OK,
so will this make any difference? Is Nick Clegg going to be worrying about this in his sleep tonight?
I think that the reality is that 75 local associations actually have to call for an election for there to be one. I think that there may well be a groundswell of opinion that that's the right thing to do. I think that being in coalition, the minor party always struggles at the next election. That just is historical fact. They're blamed for everything that goes wrong and they don't take the credit for anything that's right. But we need somebody strong as a leader who is credible and who is boasting about and telling the people about our achievements so that we can get as strong a performance as we can. Now, I don't think that, and I don't think the majority of Nottingham Liberal Democrat members feel that Nick Clegg any longer has that credibility.
OK, Tony, thank you. Tony Sutton, who's a Liberal Democrat member who was at that meeting, with a bit of the feeling, really, from that meeting, why they decided to vote. 75% of the members, they're voting in favour of calling a leadership contest effectively out.